Hello again everybody and welcome. Today we're going to have a look at the Egyptian Museum of Civilization. Now this museum is sort of a full period of civilization in Egypt from the, I'll call it the pre-dynastic period up until current times through the Egyptian kings. Then they move on to the Arab kings and different periods in Egyptian history. One of the calling cards of this museum is the royal mummies. They make much of them, but they will not allow you to film there. Now, I did try. What I did was I actually got some still photos and a bit of a warning. These are human remains, and some of these do look a little bit ghoulish. But I'll let you know in the video if you don't wish to see them and you wish to zoom forward. Anyway, I hope you like it. Come along with me and have a look. The National Museum of Civilization is located in Old Cairo. It is of course very fitting that such a place would be in Egypt, as Egypt was the centre of our modern civilization. And beyond this, it is a very modern building. But you'll find that the Egyptians are not done building pyramids, only these days they seem to build them upside down. When entering a new place, it is always important to get one's bearings. The best place to start is always the beginning, and some 9,000 years ago in the Egyptian pre-dynastic period is the beginning, with a dwelling and stone tools used by the people of that period, as well as one of the people themselves. You'd have to wonder how effective wooden ploughs would be. The Pharaoh Thutmose III. A very damaged Sphinx of Pharaoh Amenemhet III, and you almost get the impression that the contents of this museum is filled with all the broken bits that other museums didn't want. This Sphinx is from Ptolemaic times, from the Colombo Temple, and who it is I wouldn't have a clue. Neither does anybody else for that matter. A beautifully carved inscription that relates to the goddess Mahat. And in the description you'll see links to my videos on the Egyptian gods. The body of a royal chariot, and check out the quality of the work. I know the glass case interferes with my camera a bit, but it's amazing. An alabaster basin, and what is interesting about it is not the basin itself, but rather the care that has been taken to restore it. Golden casket of the priest Nejamak. Just a column, you might say. Yeah, but this one's an Egyptian one. The beautiful granite sarcophagus belonging to Kari. The pharaoh Akhenaten, Tutankhamun's father, and possibly one of the most controversial pharaohs. The god Ra on the left, a tomb Ra on the right, and the god Kaman in the center. Here we have Egyptian instruments, particularly an Egyptian harp. Are you wondering how it sounds? No doubt the tune is wrong, but it kind of sounds Asian to me. What does everybody else think? The pharaoh Merita and the goddess Mahat. along with a magnificent statue of the god Kinsu, the god of the moon. Jumping ahead to the Ptolemaic times when Greeks were running Egypt, a statue of the Greek god Nilus, and he is, as he sounds, the god of the Nile. Menket, the former governor of Dendera, and there's a fascinating temple there. Unquestionably, the Egyptians were magnificent model makers. The quality of their work is exquisite, and I can never resist looking at tools. I must also apologise, the lights in some parts of the museum really played havoc with my camera. A Greek-themed Sphinx. On the left-hand side, another statue of the goddess Mut, and on the right, an interesting statue of the vizier Pasur, a vizier only being second to the pharaoh, with a Mung Ra between his legs, most unusual. Rounding off with a limestone statue of Enki from the 18th dynasty. Next up we have the Egyptian god Hapi, and unusually he's alone. Usually they come in pairs. He is the god of the Nile. Greek figures from the Ptolemaic period of Egypt. The draw card for the museum, and the thing that most people has come to see, are the royal mummies. Now, when they was moved between the Egyptian museum and this one, they were moved in a manner that pharaohs would have been accustomed to. There are many YouTube videos on this. I'll leave some links in the description so you could see it. But this is not the only strange thing that happens around long dead pharaohs. In 1976, the pharaoh Rameses II had to travel to France. Either for a joke or for some serious reason, he was issued with a passport. Coincidentally, the King or Queen of England need bother with no such thing. They can travel all over the world without a passport. Bit of bias there, I'd say. The royal mummies are underground, as you would expect them to be, I suppose. And above them is a beautiful holographic display of different mummies and things, which is well worth taking the time to look at. Now we're making our way down to the royal mummies. Now a little bit of a warning here, if you don't want to see human remains, please zoom forward 3 minutes. That said, when you make your way down the corridor, the mummies are laid out like this in protective cases. Photography or shooting video is strictly prohibited. I did manage to get a little bit of video, but I've put something together of resources I could find on the internet, and it's somewhat more informative than what you see in the museum itself.
The Royal Mummies Hall at the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization in Fustat, Cairo, houses 22 royal mummies, 18 kings and 4 queens. They were famously moved from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square during the Pharaoh's Golden Parade in April 2021. Here is the list of the royal mummies in chronological order, spanning from the end of the Second Intermediate Period, 17th Dynasty, through the New Kingdom, 18th to 20th Dynasties. 17th Dynasty. End of Middle Kingdom / Early New Kingdom. Sekonan Ratau, the oldest mummy in the collection. He was a king of the 17th dynasty who died in battle against the Hyksos. His mummy shows severe head wounds. Queen Amos Nefertari, wife of Amos and a powerful figure worshipped for centuries after her death. 18th dynasty, the Golden Age. Amenhotep I is successor to Amos I. His mummy is famous for its beautiful floral garlands and intact face mask. It was never unwrapped to preserve its beauty. Thutmose I is known for expanding Egypt's borders into the Levant and Nubia. Thutmose II, the husband of Hatshepsut. Queen Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's most famous female pharaohs, her identity was confirmed through DNA and a molar tooth found in a canopic box. Thutmose III, known as the Napoleon of Egypt for his military genius. Amenhotep II, the pharaoh known for his physical strength and athletic prowess. Thutmose IV, known for the dream still located between the paws of the Great Sphinx. Amenhotep III reigned during a period of unprecedented prosperity and artistic splendor. Queen Tai, the powerful wife of Amenhotep III and grandmother of Tutankhamun. 19th Dynasty. Seti I, his mummy is considered one of the best preserved of all the pharaohs. Rameses II, Rameses the Great, Egypt's most famous builder and military leader who reigned for 66 years. Merneptah, son of Rameses II, he is noted for the Israel stele. Seti II reigned during a period of dynastic struggle. Siptah, a young king whose mummy shows signs of a deformed foot, possibly from polio. 20th Dynasty. Rameses III, often called the last great pharaoh of the New Kingdom, the CT scans revealed his throat was slit during a harem conspiracy. Rameses IV, successor to Rameses III. Rameses V, his mummy shows signs of smallpox, providing early medical evidence of the disease. Rameses the Royal Mummies Hall reigned during a time of economic decline. Rameses IX, one of the last rulers of the New Kingdom.
Then, over a period from 639 AD to 642 AD, Ahmed ibn al-As slowly took over Egypt, and the results of his military victories can be seen throughout the museum in the modern section. Islamic pottery, the way the ladies dressed, and indeed some jewellery from the time which was probably made from pilfered gold from the pharaohs. And just as the Coptic Christians tried to erase the dynastic Egyptian history, the Saracens with their Quran and new language tried to erase the Coptic Christians, in much fancier tense I might add, ending 700 years of Roman-backed dominance of Egypt, with busts of King Farad and Kedai Ismail, both movers and shakers. And in the year 1050 AD, with the Fatimid Caliphate, the Egyptians control some 4 million square kilometers of North Africa and large chunks of what we now call the Middle East. Europeans tried to label the Saracens as simply savages. However, this was far from true. Between the period of 750 to 1228 AD, the most prized item was a book, which could literally be worth its weight in gold. And the people were very learned and educated from an elite level down. Surprisingly, another area where they were underestimated was the area of navigation. Needing to know the location of Mecca so they could pray, it was essential for all Islamic people to have at least menial navigational skills. There are display cabinets featuring many golden treasures. As well as some beautiful Coptic art. And a great debt that all of us who have trouble getting going in the morning owe them is coffee. It seems that people were falling asleep during prayers and that was not on. And a wise man had noticed the behaviour of goats after eating a certain bean. And that bean was the coffee bean, and it was served in mosques so that people were able to pray in a correct manner without falling asleep. This part of the museum seems to concern itself mostly with textiles, although there are other things mixed in, and they go from the earliest dynastic Egyptian times through the Coptic period right through to the Islamic one. The ladies, who of course had to keep themselves covered, certainly drew attention to themselves with all the bright colours. And there's Akhenaten again. You get the impression that nobody wants him. The ancient Egyptians were also prominent wearers of wigs, both male and females. One also gets the impression that they were lovers of loose-fitting clothing. What I've seen of them, they had skinny arms and legs, but these shirts were made for monsters. Although not made of gold, these are the same design as Tutankhamun's bed with a dip in the middle. I'm beginning to think that they were made that way. Before us now is a fragmented display of Coptic fabric and pieces of art. Along with another display case full of jewellery and what looks like old pocket watches and military medals of some kind. It's the first time in my life for seeing the River Nile, and it's not a disappointment. There are mosques and things just a short walk down a ramp in the Egyptian Museum of Civilization. Well, I hope you like that. I enjoyed making it, and the museum is quite modern and interesting, being along the Nile River, and seems there's a lot of development in that area. I'd appreciate it very much if you liked and subscribed. It does make a difference. And until next time, cheers, stay safe, and there's plenty more to come.